Okay, everyone, welcome. This is the 2022 New Trier Boys Track and Field Parent Meeting. I am Coach Schmidt. I also saw Coach Sloan, Coach Butler in here. I'm not sure how many others are in. I'm just trying to keep up with this admit button to get people who are coming into the meeting. We have Kara here from the Booster Club, and she'd like to have a few words to begin, and that's a good opportunity for me to get other people into the meeting. Go ahead, please.
There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So hi, everyone. My name is Kara Lesbrons, and I'm on New Trier's Booster Board. I have two kids at New Trier, including Alex, who is a senior, and he is a sprinter on the track team. So I just wanted to tell you guys more about the boosters and encourage you all to become members at New Trier Boosters or ntboosters.com. So the boosters are volunteers that support New Trier athletics, and we do a few things. Including we run New Trier's intramural programs, which over 1,000 kids participate, including golf and tennis, paddle, spike league volleyball, and the ever popular night league basketball. We also help support school spirit by providing t-shirts to incoming freshmen, selling spirit wear, producing athlete sports guides each season, and running the concessions at many of the athletic events. Finally, the boosters fundraise for the athletic department, and we do a lot of big stuff like the turf fields at Northfield, a lot of the scoreboards, a lot of the strength and conditioning equipment, and some recent very large contributions towards the Winnetka gym renovation that's going on right now. And a big thing that we do is we also fund equipment requests from the coaches of the different teams. So for instance, last year, we funded a new athletic timing system for the track team. That was what we funded for the track team last year. So anyway, if you're interested in contributing and becoming a member, you can go to ntboosters.com. You can also get there through the New Trier website. We have some great New Trier swag as thank you gifts, and we appreciate your support of New Trier athletics. So thank you. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. We are also, as far as the track and cross country programs, going to be proposing for an FAT timing system, which can be used at all the boys and girls track and cross country meets. So that will be coming down the road too for a big ask, which will really up the game that we can produce at a cross country or track meet, that it can be all live results and that the parents can see all the live results as they're happening on their phones. So very exciting stuff. So welcome everybody. My name is Coach Schmidt. I'm a new face. You may have seen me if you got a son in cross country. I was an assistant coach with Coach Sloan. Had an excellent time and getting to state in cross country, and that is what I want to bring to track and field. I am new to New Trier, but I am not new to track and field. I have been a head coach at Bloom Township in Chicago Heights for the last 24 years, where we had 4 state champions, 5 runner-ups to the state championship, and 25 all-state events in the last 20 years. So, and that's both boys and girls. And then we've had 100+ athletes get athletic scholarships. This picture here shows 2 of them. Will Williams, who ran at Texas A&M, who ended up being NCAA champ in the long jump, and Japheth Cato, who went to Wisconsin, was 2-time runner-up in the heptathlon indoors, and then ended up being U.S. national champion And even better, both of them graduated from college and they both have good jobs, and that's what it's about. Let me get my slide presentation working here. Move this over. So my experience, I come from a background where I've studied, I've gone to USA level 2s, 1 and 2s in sprints and hurdles, and everything that we do is based upon the data that we're collecting, working energy systems. I have a degree in biology. I came to New Trier specifically to coach track and field. I was technology director at Bloom Township. I saw that there was a technology position that opened up here in New Trier, and my wife, Brandy, was very supportive, and we decided to just make a change. I live right by Soldier Field, so it was going 20 miles south or going 20 miles north. So it's a different commute, a different world, but I'm super excited to be sharing in this experience. Okay, let's do this. Like I said, I've got lots of kids who went on to college scholarships, and maybe a college scholarship isn't a necessity. Here at New Trier, students have the means to be able to go to college and choose the colleges that they want to go to. But there's still, I've seen the talent that is here, and I know that on the cross country side, you have Nick is going to, oh, Matt, help me out. Nick is going to Duke and George is going to Amherst. So that's super exciting. And there are plenty of opportunities. It doesn't have to be D1, D2, or D3. So we can talk more about that later. This is Jelena Rowe. She was the U.S. national champion in the high jump. Both her and Will jumped at Olympic trials this past summer. This is in Bloomington at Wesleyan University. There is a meet on the schedule, which is new. We'll talk more about the schedule. That is the first Saturday of spring break. So I know that lots of families make trips over spring break, which is perfectly fine. But this is a really good meet. That is that first Saturday. That is a qualifying meet. So athletes, we should have all our relays at this meet and some other individuals. So if your son, one of his goals is to be in the top group during indoor season, you might want to look into advance if you're planning on making a trip, if you can leave on Sunday morning, if that works out. I'll show this video quick. I don't think you can hear it. So that was Jelena jumping 6'1", which is higher than any boy has jumped here in a while. But with the talent that I've seen, I'm excited to see where we can go in the jumps. Hold on. Some of you may have, I like the social media. So if you look on Twitter, if you go to our website, which I'll go to at the end on the website, you can join our Twitter, our Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel. So I try to get lots of content out there that the kids like to, of course, see themselves, but also parents can keep up, because a track meet is a 5-hour day, and we have lots of meets, so you don't always make them. I try to put video footage out as much as possible so that we all can keep in touch. Okay, come on. You should have seen that I have made a store. I've sent this out. I'll send it out to parents again tomorrow. I've sent it to the kids many times. I will put it in the chat. I'll put in the chat while I'm working on this, that you can see I've made a bunch of different, looking at the inventory of what there's plenty of uniforms. The sweats for going to a meet or practicing with, I've got all Adidas stuff, and I've got a gray jacket top with blue pants, which I will do every year in the future. So if you have a freshman, this is what they'd have for the next few years. If you can't purchase something, there are jackets and sweats to hand out. But if you want your own, I know kids like to have their own stuff that they can wear it all year round. So this link, I will, I can't put it in the quote in the chat at the moment because I'm in this presentation. I'll do that later. We returned Coach Bailey, Coach Butler, Coach Hanstadt, Coach Harper, Sanchez, Sloan, Bauer, and Coach Zipka is the only new coach. Coach Zipka coached with me at Bloom Township for a year. He's a really good young throws coach. He was an All-American and SEC champion at Kentucky. So we bring a lot of experience to this program. And, you know, I told the kids on day one that this is a championship program, and that's how I'll run the program. We'll talk about, in the past, New Trier may have been that they said, you know, track and field and cross country are no-cut sports, but I know Matt Sloan didn't run it in the sense that no cut means no commitment. It means a big commitment. Cross country and track, there's a couple other people joining here, that's what I'm looking at, is a big commitment. It is 25 weeks of the year. And yes, there are days that anyone can have an excused absence, but student athletes are responsible to be at practice. We will have a policy that will go in place after our whole registration gets settled down a little bit, that after 3 unexcused absences, you know, it's not a good fit. So we'll talk to the athletes, and I don't just cut somebody just based without them knowing exactly what's happening. But this is a big commitment. We have now 183 boys that are signed up. And as most of you know, if you've driven around New Trier at Winnetka, that with the construction, there no longer is a field house or a main gymnasium. So we are really stretched with our logistics. Your sons may have told you that we've been in the hallways. We get limited weight room time. The distance guys are troopers and have been, you know, starting in a location, either cafeteria or elsewhere, and then they're putting their miles in outside. So there's no track to run on. So we are doing our best to find the best ways to get in the most efficient workouts that we can get in. Continuing. Grades, of course, are checked each week. And I'm super happy to see how responsible and how great the athletes here grades are. There's always opportunity, and there's lots of resources if your son is struggling in something. If there is a big test or a big project or something like that that's coming up, I just say that the athletes just need to talk to me about it, and we can work things out when they go along. Of course, athletics is first, or academics is first, but student athletes can do great things, and the track and field should just enhance the experience and bring kids' grades even better. We also have now weekly COVID tests. So we live in this world that New Trier is being as proactive as possible in order to keep all the sports and activities going, which is wonderful. But all student athletes to participate each week need to take a saliva test. And if they have exemptions, if they have a positive test, with the nurse's office for 90 days or something like that, but they need to be diligent in order to make sure that is all up to date. Student physicals, of course, have to be yearly. So if your son took his physical in early January of last year to be on the team, you need another one that it's current. For the most part, everybody is, but I've had several students start the year and not be able to participate because they didn't have their physicals in. This is what I was saying. Practice time is also a bit of a logistic challenge. For the most part, we'll go from right after school to 5:30. For the most part, we'll be at Winnetka tomorrow night. If you looked on the practice schedule, which I'll go to the website and show where everything is, we will be at Northfield. But for and on the practice schedule, you may have looked and you see that there is Wednesday early mornings at Northfield. My plan as a sprint and jump coach is if you get 2 quality days in a row, the third day is a quality rest day. So if we have a regular week that we don't have Monday off, we will go Monday, Tuesday quality with workouts, and then Wednesday will be a rest day in the early season. Later on in the year, Wednesday is probably a meet day for some of the athletes. Some of the athletes will rest, who will be running probably on the weekend. So it still all works out that then you come back Thursday with a workout. Friday, if it's a pre-meet, you do something lighter. You compete on Saturday and have off on Sunday, and then you start the cycle over. Shoes and spikes. It is really important that all athletes have the proper shoes and spikes. We've had Dick Pond Athletics come early in the year with their shoe truck to talk about shoes, and I will have them come back again just that they can see that there's proper shoes, because there's different spikes to wear for distance runners. There's different spikes for different types of spikes for sprinters. And then there are specialty shoes for long jump and triple jump and throws. So there is proper shoes that can be purchased, and they do make a big difference. And we can talk more about that, and you can ask some individual questions at the end. Of course, I put on some things on this about if your son was looking to run in college, and I can talk more individually about that, and questions can be asked about what they need. I did have an athlete ask me just recently about talking with different coaches, and I just say communicate with me. I've got a lot of experience with coaches all over on all levels, and I'm very good at building excitement about athletes, and I have a good reputation with coaches on D1, D2, and other levels, because I've seen them at clinics, and my athletes are spread out all over the country, and they take my word for it if I say that this athlete is going to do this performance at the end of the year. And fortunately, I've been right a lot of the time. So this is our expectations for the year. I messed up that. That's the old one from my last school. But I expect that we win conference, and I don't see any reason why we can't be right there to win our sectional. And with the athletes that are returning from the distance events, I think that along with the distance events that went to state last year, we should be able, there's no reason with the number of athletes we have and the talent I've already seen that we can't have a 4x1, 4x2, 4x4, and 4x8 to go with it. And if that is the case on Saturday, we'll be in the mix to win a trophy come Saturday at state meet. And some people have said to me that might be, you don't know the New Trier kids, but I know enough, and I know what I've seen, and I'm really excited about the program. Track and field, it has lots of events. The fun thing is, along with coming to New Trier, which I did not realize, that my cousin who I grew up with, my first cousin who's on the call, I don't know if Kelly is on the call, shout out to Kelly. Her son is a freshman at New Trier. So she gets to go through this experience, and I get to coach, I guess it's not my nephew, I guess it's my second cousin in this endeavor also. And she asked me, can we schedule how long it takes to go to a meet? And meets are all day. If you know anything about track and fields, you travel to them, leave at 7:30 in the morning, come back by 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If it's a night meet and we leave at 4:30, we'll be coming back at 9 o'clock or stuff. I don't like to keep the kids out late, especially we don't have a lot of meets that are during the week that they're going to miss school time or stay up late on a school night. I've added some good meets. I'll show you that in a bit. So buses and returning, if you go to the meet on the bus, for the most part, I want the athletes to come home on the bus. There's always, if communication is made about certain things happening, there's always that opportunity to bring them home if on an earlier time, but we have to discuss that in advance. Okay, so that was talking about individual, we have a lot of experience with the coaches here. I can close this. There's a lot of experience, and of course, with all the kids we have, there will be a lot of kids in different groups that are working out, but we will individualize things as best as possible, and we'll really work for kids to set their own goals, because not every boy is going to go to state, but if they set goals and become students of the sport and they work really hard, they will reach those goals, and then they can feel that they are certainly a big part of the team, and then hopefully we can build something that we can then have buses going down to the state meet, and all of those athletes can take part in the experience of cheering their teammates on at the state meet. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about where we're going. I want to show you how the website looks, that you can find the resources you're looking for. So let me just share one of these pages here and we'll go look at it. I'll take this one. No, this one. So right here, actually, what you see is all the athletes, and I have tested all the kids that have come in different things like the standing long jump, 5-step bound, a med ball throw, 20-meter timed. We went outside last Saturday and ran the 300, and that's how I come about the groups. It's all based on data. So there's a process to everything that we're doing, and timing is really important in track and field, so that, you know, we're going to build this competition. These kids are going to be competing, that I want them to have accurate times, and that's why we'll go to the best meets possible that we can go to. Let me get to what I said I was going to go. I get distracted. Okay, so let's go back here, and then we'll end this. Why is that not ending? Okay, let's go here. So can you see the Nutria website? Yes. Okay, so if you go to the Nutria website and go to athletics and goes to boys track and field, right here, I will keep this up to date. So here's where you can join our Instagram, our YouTube. You can join Remind. All your sons should be on Remind, and that is how I'll communicate. I'll also send, as parents, if you want to join the Remind, I will send when we're coming home from a meet. You know, we'll be at Northfield or Winnetka at such and such time. You may want to leave that to them, because you may otherwise see a lot of messages throughout the day. Right here is where the parent meeting link was. I was recording this presentations because some parents asked me about that they couldn't make it and they wanted to watch it. So if someone said they wanted to see it, I'll post it right here. Schedules. So this is really important. So we've got a tentative schedule right here, which shows all the meets. Obviously, we won't have an intra-squad. We'll just have a practice the first day because we don't have a place to do an intra-squad. But then as we move on during the year, I've got lots of opportunities for your sons to compete. Like, there is usually 2 meets indoors. Obviously, we don't have an indoor track right now that we can have our own meets, but then we will be going to we try to go to at least 2 meets a week, so that if it's a midweek, the top athletes will usually always run on the weekends. So midweek, other athletes can get opportunities, but then we get to mid-March and there is a Friday night meet, and then 3 different Saturday meets. So you'll know by Wednesday or Thursday which meet your son is going to. I've got to have all those registrations in. So we are really going to be working hard and burning the midnight oil and going to different meets and trying to provide the most opportunities. But that comes along with the responsibility that if your son is missing practice, or, you know, obviously if somebody, that's an important point to make, if there is an injury or a soreness, Nutria has professional training staff. That's where they need to go first. They are all associated with doctors and orthopedics. So if someone says that they hurt themselves, they need to go to the training room first. Then you can get, they can give an evaluation and then give really good insights and direct you if you need to go see another doctor. So right here, I showed is that training schedule, or the meets. Also under schedule is a practice schedule. So this is a live my Outlook calendar. So for example, tomorrow night then, we're at Northfield from, I don't know why it's showing that, from 4 to 6. And that schedule then, I've got a bunch of stuff in the way here. So let me close that. So that's how that schedule works, and that's all on the website. So any information there, I'll post on the website. Okay, I said I would stick to a half an hour. I've got some questions here. Let's go back up to the top. Oh, thank you very much. Someone posted in the chat the link to, here, I'll see if I can pop this up. Am I still viewing? Can you see the web store or not? No, let's stop this and I'll see if I can pull up the web store so that you can see it. Here we go. Okay, so here's the web store. So we have a outdoor gear for meets to wear. I've got a bunch of practice things. So we got, practice short sleeve, practice long sleeve. I put in some things for parents. So we have a long sleeve sweatshirt. We have a polo, which I think looks really nice. For the ladies, my wife picked out a vest. So we have a white vest here, some tights, shorts, tights. The sprinters may want to wear the tights underneath their uniforms. And then I got some hats and a backpack. You're not obligated to buy any of this, but I think that I put some time in to buy some cool things that the team will look good, because, looking good and confidence is all a big part of things. I tell your sons may have said, I say to them that the most important thing in track and field is to look good. And that may not sound like the right path, but I also say to them that means that you work really hard in practice so that you make it look easy when you go to meets. Let's look at some of the questions here. Oh, yes. So there's a number of athletes in swimming, fencing, basketball. They may be trying out for lacrosse. They're welcome to join the team after their season. Not to worry at all. Finish their season strong and then join us. And I'll test them the same way I tested the other athletes, and then we'll go to work. Says, how do distance runners get the opportunity to learn field events or sprints if you're a freshman in testing? Okay, so there'll be opportunities. Yes, I know that I like to see what the freshmen are doing also. I don't strictly split things into a freshman group, a sophomore group. We get into a sprinter group or distance group. There'll be plenty of opportunity, especially when we get to outdoor season, for a freshman who wants to try different things. Obviously, most of the kids saw the testing for the first time when they did it. So in a couple weeks, we'll test again, and they'll be able to, they'll see a lot of improvement. So the first day isn't what's going to keep them in a box. I don't try to put the kids in the box. Everybody has opportunities. If someone wants to try, someone who is in the distance group wants to then later on try, we'll have plenty of opportunities and home meets outdoors that we'll be able to try other events. The Wednesday AM practices, for the most part, we will not, they'll have the day off on Wednesday. I will let them know well in advance. So I said at the beginning, the sprint group will go Monday, Tuesday, 2 quality days, have Wednesday off. Throwers may meet on that morning sometimes because the throws area indoors is at Northfield. Distance guys are always run, right? So even if we're at Northfield for a practice like tomorrow night, the event coaches may have said, we'll meet at Winnetka, get our run in, and you can head out. There's another question about the same thing. Past years, New Trier has provided uniforms and warm-ups. The whole team would be wearing the same uniform. Okay, so that is what I'm saying. So as you see in this web store, everyone has the same uniform, singlet and shorts. New Trier has plenty of those. As far as other gear, that's where I've added this team jacket and team pants. Like I said, if you don't want to purchase that, there's no pressure. I have what is available to me, which there are probably about 60 jackets and pants. Those are 10 years old. They're still in decent shape. But I know kids like to have their own stuff. That's why I added that to it. Is there anything in the team store? You don't have to purchase. It's just available if you wish. And the team store will be open through the end of the month. And then I think that people who placed orders, Dick's Pond will try to get it to us by the beginning of March. So it's a little bit down a road, but they'll have to put all the logos on everything. And I've seen what they did with Matt Sloan's cross country group, and the stuff is very nice. Special shoes, like I said, I will have Dick Pond come to New Trier again with the truck, and then I like to bring them. I did the same thing at Bloom Township, and they explain the shoes and how they're different. So it's a bit of a learning opportunity. Is there a bus that will take them to practice at Northfield tomorrow? That is a great question, and I will find that out. I believe I will find that out, and I will send it out on Remind tonight. Bus going to Northfield. Are long distance spikes the same as cross country spikes? Yes, for the most part, they are. I would say yes for the most part in answering that. Some cross-country spikes that are specifically have a more rubber sole on them that have deeper spikes, and they may come with half-inch spikes, but you can only wear quarter-inch spikes in track and sometimes eighth-inch. But you don't have to worry about purchasing those. If you had the longer spikes, I got plenty of spikes. You mentioned athletes finishing up current sports. That's fine. If you're in another New Trier club and you're finishing it up, that's perfectly fine too. Just communicate with me. And for anything, please send me an email. My information is on the website, or send it on Remind. I will do my best to give people answers on things. And if there's a question that's coming in often, I'll send an email out to everybody on it. Okay, is there any other questions that anyone has? Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us. I'm available to email, send a text on Remind. I'm really excited about this season. I really believe that that New Trier, that track and field is, like I said, a championship program, and that after this season is over, people will begin to look at New Trier as a track powerhouse. So thank you very much. If you want to ask any other questions, just stay on and ask. Don't be worried about asking. I'm sure other people have the same question.
Thanks, Coach.
You're very welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm available. I'm excited for the season. It's going to be great. And then I look forward to meeting you all in person. If anyone has any additional questions, please ask.
Hi, Coach, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hi, so we asked the question about, the opportunity to do other things. I just want to, our son is so excited about track and he ran cross country in the fall, and Coach Sloan is amazing. But he is excited to try other things, but lacks pretty much any experience with, he talks about high jump, and
Right.
even I don't know how to I ran track in high school and a bit in college, and even I don't know how to high jump. So between now and like the next testing period, how can
Well, as far as the high jump goes, high jump and jumps are going to be really challenging because we don't have a building and we don't have an indoor pit.
right?
On Saturdays, when we do have a gym, we'll set up the high jump mats, and all he has to do is say, I'll say to the group, if anybody wants to work on high jump, and I'll just run them through some fun things and let them jump first and see how they feel on it. I've found athletes like that in the past, and then there's always more opportunities, and looking way ahead than in the summertime. I mean, you can try things through the season, of course, but then if your son is a freshman, sophomore, junior, there'll be opportunities in the summer to try other things too and work towards. So there'll be plenty of opportunity.
Okay. All right, great. And just one other question, the dividing line between events that are long distance and not, is it like the 800 and longer are considered long distance, or is it at 1500 meters?
Well, I think that, everything is, it's all a sprint, and you got to have speed. Even the 800 of the mile, you've got to have speed to it. So don't think that if someone is a middle distance runner, they'll probably run the 4x4 sometimes, they'll run the 400, they'll run the 800, they'll run the mile, they'll go up to 2 miles. If they're a new athlete, nobody's going to just throw them in the 2 mile because it's an event that's open. I take a lot of pride in trying to put athletes in positions that they can be successful. Obviously, with 180 boys on the team, that'll be a little bit more difficult, but he just needs to communicate with me, and we can find some things. It's especially when we get outdoors and we have our own meets. If somebody has been in the distance group, right now I separated it by a developmental distance group, which is kids with little experience, and then there is an 800-mile group, which is Coach Harper had that. Coach Bailey is doing the 800-mile group, which is JV with more experience. Coach Sloan is maximizing our strength, which is our distance runners and all those cross country kids that have moved up. But then there's also I'm doing a small group of 400, 800 kids, and then 400-meter runner kids may go up, they may go back, they may go down. There's lots of opportunity, and that's how it works. I try to build speed first, and then after you've built that speed, you can always get in better shape. So I don't believe in a 400 group. Many coaches believe that, well, let's get our kids strong and run them 8 times 300 and just work them hard. I believe in, I don't want student athletes to be just trying to survive practice. I want them to be able to think through practice, and they should then be looking on Huddle to watch other videos to get better so that they can improve. And that is how you get kids that really run fast at the end of the year, is building technique, building that purpose that they're doing, and then getting faster and building endurance through competing. So that's a long answer to.
No, thank you very much. A lot of good info there.
If anyone else has any questions, I can talk track and field all night. My wife said, be done in 30 minutes. I was done in about 30 minutes. But if you got any other questions that are specific, I'm happy to. I'm really excited. The reason why I do the testing is because I try to find what a student could be, an athlete could be really good at that they didn't try. And looking at the test scores that I did, there's a number of kids who have never jumped before. They were in the medium group in the past, and they have 9 feet standing long jumps, which should be a 22-foot long jumper. And the crazy thing here at New Trier is that there are like 60 seniors. So, there is no rebuilding this year. If they're a senior, this is their last experience, and many of them, this may be their last year running track. So, we've got to, as coaches, have to find a way to maximize that. All right. Any other questions? Mr. Friedman, your son had you have 2 sons, right?
Me?
Yes.
I have one son, Nick.
One son. Oh, you got Nick. Okay, I didn't know if there was another Miles Friedman. I didn't know if that was your son also. Well, Nick is doing great, of course.
He's trying, although he's got COVID right now.
Oh, well, that too will pass.
Yeah.
I have a question regarding the pole vaulting and
Yes.
the facilities for the pole vaulters. So,
And lack of.
yeah, we're aware of that.
Yeah. So,
Will they be, for the indoor season, will they be pole vaulting at the other meets?
Yes, definitely. We have some quality meets. What we will do, which they all need, is to work on speed at the beginning of the season anyway. In order to be really good at pole vault, you've got to be able to run fast. So all of them can improve in the speed category. We can work on steps, and obviously we can't vault yet, but we can work on steps. And then when we go to meets, we can make the most out of using the facility that we're at. This will be the same thing in long jump, triple jump, and high jump. And then as coaches, we will need to take a lot of video. And then with the lack of, when we come back, then we need to do a lot of good work looking at that video and learning from it. So the next time we have the opportunity to be on a pit, that we can get the most out of it. And that's what we'll do. And hopefully the weather will cooperate. And as soon as the temperature is over, if it's 50 degrees, we can put the pit back in and we can start doing that work outside.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Coach, this is Peter Hebner. Andrew's my son, and he's a junior.
Yes.
So we've got college visits and all kinds of stuff, obviously, that we're trying to schedule. A couple things. One, how do we make sure that we're scheduling those college visits at times where it works with the scheduling for the season itself? And then 2, Andrew does want to run in college. Should he be communicating with you ahead of wanting to go out and visit to see if you know the coaches, or how should he go?
Yeah, sure. I mean, myself and Coach Sloan, just let me know what schools you're looking at. Let me know when you're, if you have to make a visit during the season, communicate that, and then we can plan his workouts accordingly. We have lots of meets on the schedule, and I should have said that. Not everybody's going to run every meet. I don't think that it's productive for a track athlete on a 25-week schedule to do 2 meets a week. They'll probably only do 1, and sometimes a week off is just as good as going to a meet. So the communication is the big thing. And then if we know in advance, we can, and I know Coach Sloan can modify, the schedule, his training schedule. And then he's going to run anyway, right? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exciting. Where he's looking, let me know. I know a lot of coaches, and then I know a lot of people who know a lot of other people. So we can give you a realistic view of what times would be necessary to go to certain schools.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Very welcome. Well, any other questions? And then we'll pop off. My wife made some salmon and it smells great. I was worried about getting home because I live right next to Soldier Field. And of course, as soon as I left at 5:45, it said an hour to get home. But the traffic fortunately broke up a little bit on the way home. So very good. Let's see if there was any other.
Coach Schmidt, I just had a quick question.
Sure.
Stelio Piotrowski, Jonathan's mom. If you could clarify, he's currently doing distance, but spring break, we're just trying to figure out what is expected of them for spring break, if they're supposed to stick around or if we can get away for a few days. And then also kind of the long weekends and practice times on those. So I guess like President's Weekend is coming up and there's, I'll be out of town, my husband will be working. So we're just trying to figure out how to get Jonathan back and forth and kind of trying to figure out the schedule more than anything on those kind of days.
Look on, I will try to, on the website where I showed by schedules, where the practice schedule is there. I know that I need to mark the holidays on that schedule also. I will do that as soon as possible so that people can see the schedule and where it is. And spring break then, other than that, if your athlete intends on being on the 4x2 and 4x4 or 4x8 or running an individual or jumping in an individual event at top times on that first Saturday of spring break, that will be there. Otherwise, the rest of that week, I'm not going to require practice. I mean, we go all the time. The distance runners will run anyways. A few days off to be in the sun isn't a bad deal for anybody. So I've had, it's not detrimental. Nobody loses their fitness in a week.
Okay. That sounds great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking forward to the season.
It's going to be great. Any other questions? I had someone made a note. I really do believe that a practice shouldn't be about surviving, that it should be about thinking about what you're doing, because that's how you don't get better when all you're trying to do is make it through practice. You might have some great memories and be able to see some friends in the future and say, do you remember when coach made us, I played basketball also, and our coach was so mad at us that he made us play a week with a flat basketball so that we couldn't dribble so much, and like that was not fun when you were doing it. It's a good story to share later, but it didn't help us get any better. And if if you're spending all your energy during the week, chances are you're not going to compete very well on Saturdays. You know, some of you who know distance running, I worked at camp when I was young, just out of college for Jack Daniels, who wrote all the VDOT formula stuff. And he would say that you have to race faster to train faster, that you've got to prove on your race day that you can run faster in practice. And I totally believe that, because otherwise kids work you know, great kids may work super hard, and you see them when they go to college and they may overtrain, and then people get injured, and then people get frustrated. And availability is more important to me than missing out, because maybe that's why a lot of my athletes have done so well in college, because I didn't burn them out in high school. I tried to develop a love for the sport, and then they took it to the next level when they had their own ownership of it. So that's great. So I see my cousin is on. Nice. So anyone have any other questions before there's my cousin. Oh, so that's great. So thank you all for joining me tonight. It's going to be a great season. Feel free to email me at any time. And I look forward to going through this journey with you all. All right. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely. Bye now.